Good evening. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Lopatcong Township Council for February 4th, 2026. At this time, would you all please bow your head for silent prayer? Would you all please rise for Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger, the Express Times, LehighValleyLive.com, and the Township website, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Beth, would you please take roll?
Councilman Belcaro?
Here.
Councilman Marinelli?
Here.
Councilman McQuaid?
Here.
Council President Polito?
Here.
Mayor Wright?
Wade, could you please summarize the executive session?
Yeah, the Township Council met in executive session where it discussed the following privileged matters: personnel, police officer, Gabos pension matter, personnel, construction department, contractual LAA contract, contractual South 6th Street litigation, attorney-client privilege, the Cube's warehouse fee agreement with Lopatcong, attorney-client privilege, affordable housing, administration and enforcement, and litigation, harbor management, Brakely Gardens. Minutes from the executive session will be released at such time as the council deems no public harm will come from it and no official action was taken. There will be 3 motions as discussed in executive. The first motion will be to authorize payment of $5,014.72 to correct pension error for Officer Gabos.
Should we do that now or at new business?
Call, if you want to call for the motion.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
A motion to authorize the offer of a job position in the construction department for plumbing inspector, building subcode official, and fire subcode official.
Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes.
And last one is a motion to authorize litigation against Brakely Garden.
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcaro?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Okay, public comment on agenda items only.
Bob Roos, 11 Harwich Road. The harbor matters at Brakely Gardens, that's litigation, but you just took a motion to do something with. Brakely Gardens, I know Council President Polito and John Betts has done a lot to try to protect those residents of that. Am I correct? Brakely Gardens. Okay. So I wanted to just commend you. I don't imagine you can speak further on that, but you seem to be doing a good job with them. And the Affordable Housing Ordinance 2026-02, first reading, affordable housing. Without getting into detail, is that pretty just routine type of stuff that we're not really doing much with it? I know I can read the ordinance when it's posted.
Yeah, and so it's a very lengthy ordinance,
Uh-huh.
but it's required under the Affordable Housing Act for the 4th round.
Right.
There are certain requirements in the administrative code that the township has to adopt in its ordinance for when affordable housing gets built, how it's built, and all those things. But it's basically just required by law.
Right,
to
right.
build the requirements.
We're not doing so much, we're complying with what we have to. All right, okay. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to old business. Approve minutes for January 7th, 2026 and January 13th, 2026, executive and regular sessions. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Move on to new business, ordinance number 2026-01, first reading of the Cap Bank ordinance. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
I'll second that. Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Number 2, approve the Fair Share Housing Center consent order. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Number 3, ordinance number 2026-02, first reading to amend the code of the Township of Lopatcong, Chapter 67, Affordable Housing, and Chapter 243, Zoning and Land Use, Article 20, Administration and Enforcement. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Consent agenda. Is any items need to be taken out? Everybody okay with? Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarra?
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli?
Yes.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Council President Polito?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to council reports. Rich?
Council President, my intention is to attend next week's sewer meeting in Phillipsburg on Tuesday. I'm hoping we can have an update on that. I know the council members changed there, so I don't know what their position is going to be, but we'll see if we can find something out.
Okay. Luke? Okay. Scott?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the road department. I think they did a good job for a difficult storm. They're on a long time. They kept the roads open. They kept going back and forth, and we didn't have the salt we needed. I guess almost every town was down to half of what we were allowed or allocated. Yeah. So that's why some are still AC. That's all.
I also would like to thank the DPW, police and fire departments for all their work during the recent snowstorms. Recreation Committee, music in the park. We have 14 bands booked. Additional bands are interested in playing. We may be adding some Tuesday night performances in August. Community Day is going to be scheduled for August 29th. Rain date is September 12th. Some other upcoming events: and Arbor Day tree planting on April 24th, and the Earth Day cleanup on April 21st, April 25th, not to be confused with the bulk cleanup. This is where we clean up sections of the town, usually on Strikers Road, the park, the schools. And these events will be posted on the township website soon. Okay, we're going to engineers report.
Yes. Thank you, Council President. Excuse me. So our continued work, continuing coordination on Fox Farm Road storm damage repairs. We've submitted a proposal for survey, permitting, and design to the council, but I understand we're pending confirmation of funding from FEMA for that work. So we'll work with the police chief to confirm that so we can get that work started and get that the final repairs done on Fox Farm Road.
I think we received 10% so far. We just got it.
Okay. So we'll have to see if we can, maybe at the next meeting, authorize our engineer work to start on that. Okay, very good. Thanks, Beth. Sallyport project, construction's underway. We have a meeting next Tuesday. Work's going to continue with the contractor and some vendors that'll be doing some of the interior sprinkler and security type work. So we'll be continuing that work to get that completed for the police department. Park improvement plans, I know that project is going to be rebid as the bids were not favorable, were received in December. The pickleball courts are now complete. The final payments being made to the contractor this evening. The courts will be opened in the spring after the 2 feet of snow melts that are out there, And then that'll be coordinated with Brian on the opening of those courts, certainly, and confirming their condition after the winter. Stonehenge Drive improvements, that project was substantially completed before the winter set in. The final work there is really pavement resurfacing and striping, and that'll be completed. The contractor is eager to get the job done, so as soon as the pavement plants are open, asphalt plants, they'll be coming in to complete the work. As was indicated on the consent agenda, we will be filing a recreation grant with the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, similar to what we've done previously for the pickleball courts, as well as some of the planned park improvements. So we'll be filing that on behalf of the township as well. And our next local aid funded, NJDOT local aid funded road project will be phase 1 of the Strikers Road improvements. And that is the sort of northern portion of Strikers Road from around the county fairgrounds down towards Architects Golf Course. There'll be some resurfacing, drainage repairs, sidewalk repairs, and curb ramp repairs as well. So that's our next phase of work that I'll be coordinating on with Kim as well as with Brian, getting that started. That's all I have right now.
Thank you. Okay, police report, Chief.
Thank you, Council President, Council. So the traffic report for the month of January, we had a total of 356 motor vehicle stops. 60% of the drivers who were stopped were issued a traffic citation, and 17% of those that were given a citation were tractor trailers or commercial motor vehicles. That concludes the traffic report for the month. Sadly, I would like to announce the passing of a past chief in the Lopatcong Township. It was Neil Corley, just passed away on January 28th. I would also like to extend my appreciation to the school board for allowing for services to be held over at the Lopatcong Middle School on Saturday. From 9 to 11 will be visiting hours. So that concludes my report.
Chief, I have just a question or a comment. And this is related to the past storm we had, the snowstorm.
Yes.
I know that there's a lot of cars parked on the streets, and the plows had to go around them, and so in the event of an impeding storm of that size again, right? I don't know if a plan could be put in place between yourself and the DPW to notify and have these cars, the owners, move ahead of time before an impeding storm. I don't know, some kind of plan could be worked out.
So right now, what we did for this storm was put the information out there on social media, and hoping that everybody would see that. You're probably not ever going to get 100% compliance.
Exactly.
But if we can stay ahead of that before a storm hits and knock on somebody's door, I would much rather do that than have to deal with it while the storm's coming down. And
Right, before it's too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could print a bunch of flyers, just put on the windshield, a couple of days, listen, the storm coming, you can't park on the street for this,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
at that point, there's no way of knowing who's going to be keeping their car there and who's not, because they're permitted to park there.
No, right, right. Just to make it so the streets are clear. I mean, some cars, they block their driveway, which is a help because, some garages only two-car driveway.
Yeah.
So they have other cars and they don't know where to park them. So I would recommend, and sometimes I do it, my neighbors, they have an empty spot, so I get permission to park in the driveway sometimes. And they allow me. And it's also less for them to, remove snow. So something like that, maybe they can work with their neighbors.
No, I 100% agreement, and we'll work with the DPW and try to get
Right.
as close as we can to 100% compliance.
No,
But
I get it.
we'll see
I
how
get
that
it.
goes.
I know, but thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, DPW.
First, I want to say thank you, Scott, for, you guys worked very, very hard. All right, put a lot of hours in and then came home and shoveled their own place out. You know what I mean? A lot of hard work there. Just to report a little bit, storm after storm. All right, Christmas trees picked up. We picked them up till the end of January. We just picked the last one up, a couple days ago, actually. Just to let you know, Lou, on your side there that you're discussing, I actually called Jason, I don't know if it's a day or 2 days before or something like that, and asked him to put it out online, all right, and everything else to have the cars moved. The ordinance is 4 inches of snow, the car must be moved. And also, you're not allowed to throw the snow back in the driveway. The problem we're having is people aren't listening to the ordinances no more, and they don't care to. All right, I'm worded just like that because that's what I got told, some of them. All right, a lot of them came from different places, and they throw the snow back in the road. All right, so that's normal to them. So somehow we've got to break that mold of where we stand. I do believe that comes from you guys and us and Jason communicating and sending letters out to everybody, all right, or however we need to do that. You know, I thank the police for going around. They made it a little bit easier on us. All right, some of them did move their cars, a bunch of them didn't. But we have to one of the big things besides the cars, we have to stop the people from putting it back in the driveway, or the road, I mean. All right, it's like going out, still in your driveway, and then you look back out and it's completely full again. All right, not acceptable. All right, so it's something we really got to push hard on also. The other thing is the sidewalks, we struggled. The machine gave us some problems. We had to get it fixed twice. So we're going to address that issue, which we are in the middle of now. All right, for the sidewalks going all the way down Belrier Highway. So that's why that was delayed a couple days. All right, but everybody handled it pretty well and different things, and it was part of the struggle. All right, as we went on our way. And that's really about it, just going over things and getting all the stuff that needs to be done in January of every year, like sending all our chains have got to be sent out and inspected once a year by law. All right, so that had to be, the lift truck had to be inspected by law. That has to be done. I got to get these guys a whole bunch of training now. We usually do it in January, but January was not a month to training. So I've got to get them all their fire inspections and their lift trainings and all kind of things going on. So as soon as we get a week or so and I can get hold of the insurance company and he has an open door, we're going to get all that done. All right, so that it's done before spring hits, and when spring hits, it goes nuts for us for all the ball fields and everything else going on. So How's your salt right now?
right now I have 100%.
You have 300
Okay,
tons?
but if you look down at the website here, you have 7 days of snow coming.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I'm asking.
We're not going to make it, Scott, unless something changes in that storm. Plain, simple, cut and dry. I've had another 50 on order for 2 days now. 3 days now.
Do you have room for more, or is it 300?
Well, what I'm doing is because I don't have a choice, I have a storage bin that's on the cuff. All right, and we'll just cover it. It's not really the best, but we have to keep the public safe as we can.
Yeah.
All right, the last storm, I usually hold around 300 ton. I'm lucky if I had 75 or 80 ton of salt. All right, and what we did is we locked that down to the hills and to the things that were unsafe. If the cops called me and said, hey, I've got a lot of slippery going on here, that's where it went. So it was basically about safety.
I had a lot where the governor said there was tons of salt down in the ports.
Yeah.
But nobody was delivering it.
No, there was
It's
salt.
okay if it's ports, but unless they're going to deliver it to you, it doesn't do any good.
That's right.
Where's it coming from? Was it?
I don't know exactly, though, down towards the city, somewhere down in there. All right, down by the ports where he's talking about. Exactly, I don't know. But we had it on order 2 weeks in advance before the storms, and we never got a load.
You, Peter, Poet, everybody in the whole area.
Nobody and his brother got anything. And I called, just to let you know, I called the Bridge Commission. They said, no, we're short, we're locking down. I called, I talked to Harmony, because Harmony has a good sized bin. They said, we're right on the cuff of having enough or not enough. Everybody and his brother locked down because nobody had it. The ones that did barely had enough for themselves. So thanks to the public for understanding it. Some of the people don't quite get it, but there's a reason why you didn't have any salt down. And it was basically your flats, all right, and the safety areas that needed that salt. So that sounds like a lot, 80 ton, but a normal storm is 300 ton of salt that goes down on this town. All right, so 80 ton is, barely a third of your town, right? You know what I mean? So That's not what's going
Okay.
on. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fire Chief's report.
Good evening, council. January of 2026, we answered 22 calls. We have 23 calls on the year so far, with one in February to this time. Biggest thing was about the snowstorm. We had approximately 3 crews out for a total time of about 8 or 9 hours shoveling out hydrants. I just want to say one thing of, let's try to always encourage the residents, if they have a fire hydrant on their property, to, if they can, try to shovel it out to help us out. We were out till about 9 o'clock at night Monday shoveling out hydrants, and we have well over 150 hydrants in this town. There are residents that do help us out, but there's plenty that we need to make sure everything's open in the town, because last thing we need is an incident where we need a hydrant and we get there and it's under 4 feet of solid snow.
Were any hydrants buried?
Yeah.
How'd you find them? You have those sticks? Or what?
Well, there's markers on some, and then
Yeah.
we have everything mapped on our app called I'm Responding that has a location of every hydrant in the town.
Okay.
But there was a couple hydrants that just happened to be under 6-8 foot of snow that we had to dig out. Last thing, the update on the new ladder truck. Our guys just got back from Wisconsin this past week doing their final inspection. Everything was good on the truck, a couple minor things, but they're all fixed already. I got an email from our salesman tonight that the truck is leaving Wisconsin this weekend and should be delivered to New Jersey Monday at Fire and Safety in South Plainfield. And then from there, they'll do their final inspection, they'll do their final installs on a couple things, and then start equipment and tool mounting. And then once it gets delivered to us, we will go through 4 days of training on the truck, and then we will get all of our stuff on the truck, and then the truck will go into service.
When was the green light given to them to go ahead and build the truck? Was it about a year ago?
No,
I recall?
it wasn't even a whole year. Probably once they started building the truck, once we got notified that the truck was being built, it was end of September, beginning of October, so
Right.
about 3 months of.
Because I recall, if my memory don't fail me, but initially, it was going to be 18 months for this truck to be delivered,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So what happened that they did it this
So-
year?
It originally went from, if you remember, 36 to 40 months. That was on a complete custom order. If we would order it brand new, not brand new, but if we would order it on our own, it was 36 to 40 months. We were able to find a truck that Pierce released as a stock unit, which is already started the build process, and then we were able to customize a couple of things on it. So that was supposed to start production, that stock unit, sometime in January. I got notification in August or September from Eric that stuff got shuffled around and some other trucks got bumped out, and then this stock unit ended up getting moved up in line, and it just happened to go into production in September. And so at the end of the day, we got lucky that,
Yeah, because, from 18 months,
Yeah.
in less than a year.
yeah, it went from,
delivered.
so really, if you look at it, our original time frame went from 40 months to about 4 months. So,
Yeah.
so we got pretty lucky. But it'll be in town soon, on the road soon. Once we get training, we'll be on the roads. You'll see it out and about when we're doing our training on it. We have a person coming from the Pierce Manufacturing to do our training on it with everyone. That's 1 day of classroom work, meeting inside our hall, and then a day or 2 of outside hands-on
And
training.
this will fit in the firehouse?
Yes.
right? With the bucket?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually had, when we had Roxbury's same truck, which is the same spec as this one, we had to come down to our firehouse and we put it in the firehouse and everything fits.
Yeah, because I remember at Station 2, when we had to bring the ladder truck there, to park it there for a little
Mhm.
while.
Well, that was while we were waiting for the building to be built. We knew it wasn't going
Yeah,
to
I
fit.
know, but we had to cut out.
Oh, yeah, cut out the beam.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
range, so the ladder part fit through.
Yeah.
And we had to back it up nice and carefully.
Yeah. And then, so once it's in town, we are going to be sending out dates soon, but to everyone, but we plan on having a wet down celebration for the new truck, May 30th. That's our date,
This year.
as of right now, yeah. So,
Okay, hopefully it's warm that day.
yeah. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. EMS report. Shade Tree report. Can I have a motion to approve department reports?
Motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Payment of bills. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Valquero.
Yes.
Councilman Marinelli.
Yes.
Councilman McLean.
Yes.
Council President Plato.
Yes. Public comment, 3 minutes.
Thank you. Pam Thomas, 6 Wordsworth Lane. Tonight, I actually am here as a representative of the Lopatcong School District. We wanted to give you an update from the Board of Directors. So, January 6th, we had a mid-year budget review by the County School Board's office, and the review results said that Lopatcong was in great shape, especially when compared to other school districts in the county. Additionally, they praised our district's math and English language scores. On January 7th, the middle school student council executive team attended a leadership conference at the College of New Jersey, along with student councils from across the state. The students from the conference participated in a competition during the day, and Lopatcong brought home a second-place trophy. January 13th, Lopatcong School District hosted a competition titled Battle of the Minds, where 8 schools brought 18 teams and participated in a Jeopardy-style competition. The Lopatcong team took 3rd place. There are 2 new after-school clubs starting this month. There's a chess club that's starting in the middle school and a Lego club beginning in the elementary school. Both of these clubs are in response to community feedback that happened at our strategic planning meeting. Many thanks go out to the PTA for their strong financial support in the formation of these clubs. Our superintendent, Mr. Marmolejos, reported to the board at our January 22nd meeting a concern that the number of MKV students is rising. MKV stands for the McKinney-Vento Act, which is a federal law ensuring that children and youth experiencing homelessness, defined as lacking a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, have immediate access to education, including school enrollment, transportation, and services to support academic success, stability, and extracurricular participation. The district is currently looking for grants or other funding to cover some of the associated costs with these increases in the number of students falling under this category. And lastly, I wanted to share some educational highlight that was shared with the board at our last meeting. We receive updates directly from our students. They at both the elementary and the middle. They give us presentations to the board. It's the best part of the meeting. The students shared some of what they had been doing in their financial literacy classes. So in financial literacy, the 5th graders were finishing up the Understanding Money unit by going on a shopping trip to determine when to use cash or credit. They're moving on to Consumer Skills unit, where they're learning about sales, coupons, receipts, and checking accounts. In 6th grade, they're finishing their Financial Future lesson, where they learned about planning for the future. They'll be moving into their budgeting unit, and they'll practice making a budget. For 7th grade, they're finishing up their investment unit with a project describing stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They're going to be moving on to a credit union, where they will discuss credit cards and credit scores. I know this is like specifically an area that a lot of the public, I see it all the time on Facebook, and they're like, well, why aren't we teaching our kids how to use a checkbook? And why aren't we teaching our kids these basic skills? I want you to know they are happening. It's in the curriculum for financial literacy. And then lastly, with the cold and the snow and the cold temps, just to report that we had 3 days with a 2-hour delay because of the cold temperatures in the morning. They were in the single digits. So we did manage to hold school, but we just had 2-hour delays. Our workshop board meeting will be tomorrow night at 6:30. Thank you very much.
I have one question.
Sure.
How's enrollment going?
Enrollment for?
the students, elementary and middle school, is it increasing? Is it decreasing? Is it
I
staying
think
the
we
same?
have a little bit of a decrease, but not tremendously.
Okay,
So we're kind of holding,
okay,
but we've added all those preschool students this year too.
okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
Bob Bruce, 11 Harwich Road. You guys stole my thunder in thanking the Department of Public Works. I really thought, I came from Queens, I know what it's like on streets. I don't know what it was like in Linden, but, you know, when you're in a
Same thing.
city, sorry?
Same thing.
Yeah, it's, and they got nowhere to put it, but anyway, again, these guys have done a great job ever since I've been here. So last meeting, Township President John Ketchison had asked about our position regarding data centers in our township. And Beth had indicated that an ordinance to restrict data centers requires a change to our master plan. And I see where last month our planning board agenda had a referral for discussion of data centers. So tonight I'd like to ask about our position regarding detention centers in our township. It seems there is an increase in warehouse vacancies in the Lehigh Valley. They've gone from under 4% in early 2023 to nearly 8% by late 2024. First quarter 2025 is the last I got. It's like 7.3, 7.5. But it also seems that the Department of Homeland Security is actively pursuing warehouses that they want to use as detention centers. They had just purchased a warehouse last week, an hour west of here along 78 in Berks County. And they are seeking to use a vacant warehouse in Roxbury Township, about 45 minutes from here along Route 80. So I'm here similar to our consideration of not allowing data centers in Lopatcong. Can this council and maybe direct our planning board look into not allowing detention centers in Lopat?
I haven't heard anything about either one of what you just said.
Which one, sir?
Both.
Which?
Data center coming to Lopat or detention centers coming to Lopat. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
Of potential. Or even a thought.
Yes, a
of those
potential.
warehouses coming here.
Yes.
So I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
What I'm talking about is that last meeting,
So you want to do a preemptive planning?
well, I believe that is what our planning board is looking into, based on last.
Commissioner wrote a letter with a model ordinance to the municipalities in Warren County, asking them to consider change, if you have, you know, a master plan that allows data centers, to consider changing it, whether you remove them or you scale it down or make it a conditional use, you know, there's a lot of options there. So our planning board reviewed it at their last meeting, and there's going to be further discussion as to a possible conditional use or, you know, some scaling down of size. You know, there's some options that they're going to discuss moving forward.
And so, yes, preemptively based apparently on Commissioner Kern, County Commissioner
I
Kern.
don't believe we have those warehouses right now to house these data centers or detention centers.
I may sound like I know what I'm talking about regarding warehouse. I'm no expert on the local warehouses, but I know that there's been, you know, an increase in warehouse vacancies.
Right.
And I know that most of the warehouses that have been built have been spec warehouses. And so, you know, it's not like we have somebody to go in there. And I know that the Department of Homeland Security is pursuing warehouses. And as I said, there was one that they just purchased, a warehouse an hour west of here, and they're currently seeking to use a vacant warehouse in Roxbury Township. So having had the experience of what happened last month regarding data centers, you know, that was preemptive, sir, and I'm asking whether or not we can, without Commissioner Kern or somebody as a resident, I'm asking whether or not, what the position of our township might be regarding detention centers, because it's my understanding that based on Commissioner Kern, and I didn't read the letter, but based on what Commissioner Kern said, that it was basically, this is probably not something we want to allow in Warren County, and he had a model ordinance that he was putting forward.
In regards to detention centers or?
In regard, well, yes, preemptively.
Data centers.
Yes, well, the data centers was Commissioner Kern's urging, and it was discussed at last month's meeting, and action was taken towards the planning board looking into it. And I'm here tonight to ask whether or not we can do the same regarding detention centers. And as regarding what facilities that they may have, I don't know. I have an understanding that there are vacancies in some of the warehouses along 22, but I can't tell you for sure that that is in fact the case.
We don't have any kind of data to go by.
Yeah, right.
Establish, what you're asking.
Well, from a land use perspective, detention centers are not identified as a permitted use in the land use ordinance. So if it's not identified as a permitted use, it's automatically not a permitted use, it's disallowed.
Okay, so it's
So,
a,
a detention facility to house individuals that might have been, I don't know what the gentle term is, to apprehended or
Right.
are being processed by Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
I mean, you would have to build sanitary, I would imagine, sanitary sewer facilities.
Oh, yeah,
a lot of
it's
other
nuts.
things. So,
Yeah.
like, these warehouses that are, even if they're 20 acres under roof, there's like 2 bathrooms in the whole place. It's
okay,
not-
so unofficially, I think what I'm hearing is that from a land use perspective,
It would not be permitted.
it would not
But,
be.
we don't have the federal government here looking to do this, so
Right,
we'd have to
right.
figure that. I mean, I don't know that, what the standing would be, but certainly in terms of data centers I can speak to,
Right,
those are permitted in the ROM zone.
okay.
The ROM zone is specifically along Strikers Road,
okay,
and along a few parcels which are partially developed already, along Bellevue Road, between Strikers and Uniontown Road.
okay.
So that's where the ROM zone is situated in the township. So as Beth had indicated, we had discussed going for potentially restructuring the ordinance to not disallow data centers per se, but also to create some restrictions or some conditions for the construction of a data center. So, we would have to, I have to do more research on that as well. And the board attorney and board planner, we're going to look into that as well prior to our next meeting. Just to see what, we understand, we've heard on the news, water consumption and power consumption, all those elements, potential impacts, certainly there's no truck traffic. Our understanding is you have like a giant building and you have a 15-space parking lot and that's it.
Right,
It's
right.
just full of computers. So it's not like you have tractor trailers coming in and out once the place is up and running.
Yeah, you don't even really need a hell of a lot of sewer to run a
Right,
data
there's no
center. But you
sewer.
need water, you need
There's
electric.
water
yeah,
demand,
right.
certainly, so,
Right.
and power demand. So,
right.
our concern there, our discussions at the planning board level preliminarily were looking at, potential, on-site power generation, not necessarily restricting solar, but certainly, we've heard of on-site generators running diesel and turbine generators running day and night to generate enough power for these facilities, looking at that and providing some sort of structure if someone wanted to come in with a data center and JCP&L wasn't able to provide power.
Yeah.
So we're looking to avoid that, certainly. And of course, the water consumption issue as well. Certainly the Highlands is going to have some input on that since we're a Highlands conforming community. They'll be reviewing any uses that might be consumptive of water. But anyway, that is a conversation that's going on at the planning board level, as you mentioned. But detention centers, I mean, they're not permitted in the ordinance, so if they're not listed as a permitted use, they're automatically not permitted.
Okay,
Disallowed.
okay, yeah,
And then you have to come in for a use variance, and if DHS is here for a use variance, then we'll have to look at that.
and then you'd have to find sewer, which is probably many,
Right.
multiple factors compared to a warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you, it was an excellent explanation, thank you.
That detention center that they're building in Bucks County, I think, would they purchase that for 83?
87 million.
87 million? It's going to house 1,500 people, I heard, right?
I didn't get a number
I
on
think it's
this, sir.
1,500, and I bet you there's not going to be any truck traffic.
Yeah, no, but I understand also that, I don't know if this is per spec, or if it's, they purchased an existing warehouse, I believe?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that if the township doesn't do anything to prevent it, which is now up in the air regarding Roxbury, which Roxbury, New Jersey has that situation before them, and they're looking into what they can do to prevent that because of the demands. So if they lose on that, my understanding is that if the federal government gets the legal right to do it, you can't stop them. But they can't turn around and say, well, you got to build sewers and you got to build roads and you got to build,
Well, the way I see detention center is only temporary. It's not going to be permanent housing. Those detention centers only to hold until they go through a process and then go someplace else. It isn't going to be permanent.
Well,
They're going to have all these people living in the warehouse.
Okay, I think that you currently have 73,000 people in the country that are in detention, and I believe that the facilities that DHS has proposed would get that to double that. And I'm not here seeking to discuss the issue of that. I'm simply seeking here to find out, and I think I got a very good explanation about my concerns about whether our township had taken good action on data centers, which it sounds like you had to do through the planning board. Thank you for that explanation, Mr. Wisniewski. And I was just concerned about potential coming in with that. So, thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing no one, comment, can I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.